guys, what's up? What it do? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this really easy, might not look easy, but it's a very easy and beginner friendly makeup look. And all the products that I used are 100% affordable. They are all under $10. This video is in partnership with E.L.F. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about E.L.F. in the past. It is basically an online one-stop shop where you can get tons of beauty and wellness products. There's pretty much nothing that you can't find on E.L.F. Honestly, there's something there for everyone because they have things on the lower price scale and they also have things on the higher end scale. They carry thousands of beauty and self-care products from all over the world, and they ship to over 150 different countries. Aside from the makeup that I'm going to be showing in this video, E.L.F. also has a lot of K-beauty products, which I have recently found an obsession with. K-beauty is Korean beauty, and they have tons of Korean beauty options. They also have products from countries like New Zealand, Australia, the UK. Be sure to check my description box below for links to all the products. And if you're interested to see an in-depth walkthrough of how I got this look and what products I use, then just keep watching. Okay, so we're gonna start off with primer. I'm going to use the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Honestly, this primer is really good for all skin types, but especially if you have oily skin or you have a more oily T-zone. The purpose of primer is pretty much to just smooth the skin. It also creates a barrier between your makeup and your skin so that your makeup doesn't ruin your skin. A lot of people don't see the need for primer, but I think primer is so important, not only to help with keeping your skin clear and keeping it protected, but primer also preps the skin so well for makeup, because if you put makeup on skin that isn't primed or isn't hydrated or moisturized, it can come out kind of dry, not smooth, and primer just, it makes it nice and smooth and even. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera how instantly less shiny I look. This is one of my favorite drugstore primers. So next up, we're gonna get into these brows. I'm going to use this professional eyebrow pencil by Rimmel London. It's in the shade dark brown. For me, I always have to do my eyebrows close up. It is just like a necessity. So I have this little mirror right here. Now when it comes to doing my brows, I have pretty thin brows, and right now they're also not shaped up. So I typically don't do very dramatic brows. I just like to make hair-like strokes in the front to fill in the gap because I like having no hair in the front. So I just fill it in and then I take the rest of it and drag it out. And honestly, like when it comes to learning how to do your brows, it just requires practice. Like you just have to keep doing it. I really like this brow pencil as well because it comes with a little brush on the cap, so it makes it easy to just kind of fluff out the color so it doesn't look harsh. I don't really do very harsh brows ever anyway. Now for me right now, I also have a lot of like extra hairs down here, so what I'm gonna do is just take a concealer to clean that up. I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. I'm just gonna take a little bit and put it on the back of my hand like that, and I'm just gonna take an angled brush and clean it up. My brows need to be done so bad. And then I'm just taking a fluffy brush to blend it out. A lot of people just use their fingers for this, but you could just take any eyeshadow brush that you have and it blends it out so seamlessly. My only issue right now is that my brows really need to be cleaned up, so I have a lot of extra hairs just chilling underneath of my concealer, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other brow. Okay, so my brows are done. They are definitely cousins and not sisters, but that's okay. So since this is supposed to be a beginner friendly look, I wanted to go with a foundation or coverage that wasn't too heavy. I decided to go with this Covergirl Clean Matte BB Cream. It's made for oily skin, but I do believe they have a version for normal or dry skin as well. And if you're like me and you typically don't like a lot of coverage anyway, this BB cream is bomb. I'm gonna use this sponge that looks like a beauty blender but is not a beauty blender. It's by this brand called Denco, and it literally feels and works just like a beauty blender, but not for the beauty blender cost. The really good thing about this BB cream too is that It actually has a decent amount of coverage. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, I have a lot of discoloration on my cheeks right now and it's pretty much gone. You can also use your hands to massage this in, but I think it's just easier and better to do with a sponge. It gives you that more like makeup coverage. When you use your hands, it's more of a sheer coverage. Definitely want to make sure you get in that hairline. Okay, so as you can see, it's not a full coverage. You can still see pretty much well through the BB cream, but I feel like it's the perfect amount of coverage if you're new to makeup or if you're just like me and you don't like to wear a lot of coverage. I'm actually in the shade 560 Deep. So now we're going to conceal. Now, if you're new to makeup, the purpose of concealing is to pretty much hide blemishes, hide imperfections, but it's also used to lighten, well, not lighten, but it's used to brighten or bring light to certain parts of your face. So you've probably seen the most common contour under the eye. This pretty much just helps to brighten the under eye area. I'm sure a lot of you guys may have experienced dark marks or dark circles under the eye. This helps to brighten it, and it also helps to lift that eye area so it looks a little bit more alive. So I'm just gonna conceal under my eyes. If you have other dark marks or other imperfections like on the cheek area or on the forehead area, you can always put concealer there as well, because concealer has more coverage than foundation. You may also see sometimes people put concealer on their forehead, at the bridge of their nose, on their chin. That also just helps to add light and add dimension to those areas. I personally don't really like to put concealer on my forehead because my forehead, I don't know if y'all can tell, but it sticks out. So when I put concealer there, it makes it look like it sticks out even further. So I avoid putting concealer there unless I have to. But sometimes I will take it down my nose and I'll put it on my chin. I'm gonna take the same sponge that I used earlier to blend out my foundation to blend out the concealer. I do suggest dampening it a little bit because that'll help to blend the makeup out. As you can see, that color just lifts up under the eye and it just makes it look a lot brighter. Some people prefer not to use a concealer color that is very light. I usually like to go with 2 shades lighter than my foundation shade, but some people will use a concealer color that's literally the same shade as their foundation just to add more coverage without trying to brighten it. It pretty much just all depends on the look you're trying to achieve and or if you're trying to add more coverage. But for me, I like when my under eye area is a little bit brighter, so I always do a brighter concealer. Now you can add more depth to your contour by putting a darker shaded concealer on your cheeks, on your nose, and to frame your forehead, but I am going to skip that for today because I just don't want that very like defined look. I'm actually just going to set the concealer under my eyes with a powder. I'm going to use the Covergirl Clean Matte Powder. This is in the shade 555 Soft Honey. So this shade is actually a little bit lower than the shade of my BB cream because I want my under eye to be a little bit brighter. You can just take any brush of your choice to sweep the powder under the eye. If you're new to makeup and you're just unaware of how to bake, quote unquote, honestly, just don't do it because you can completely mess up your makeup by trying to use a loose powder to set your foundation or to set your concealer, and it's the wrong powder and it makes you look like you have flashback and all that extra stuff. To me, it's just easier to take a powder that might be a little bit lighter than your foundation shade and use that to set your concealer in place, because you don't have to worry about accidentally having that flashback or accidentally using too much loose powder. Compact powders to me are just easier to use and more beginner friendly. Like I said, I'm not going to contour my cheeks but I am going to use some bronzer to warm up my face. Bronzing is probably like my favorite part of the makeup routine, especially when I'm doing a nice soft natural look and I don't want to have that definition, because when you contour you really add definition to your face, which isn't always needed for every makeup look, but bronzing will help to add warmth to your skin without, you know, being super defined. It's a great option if you don't know how to contour, but you still need to add warmth to your skin, or if you just are lazy like like me and don't want to contour. The reason why I think you should contour or bronze in any makeup routine, especially if you're wearing foundation and concealer, is because when you put foundation on, it kind of makes your face look flat. My entire face is just one shade, which is what the purpose of foundation is for. But when you add a bronzer or when you add a contour color, it just adds warmth back to the skin so it doesn't look flat. So I have this bronzing palette from E.L.F. This one is in the shade Deep. It comes with 4 different colors. And the thing I like about this bronzing palette too is that 2 of the colors actually have shimmer in them. And when you add like some shimmer into the bronzer, it just looks so pretty. So I would take any fluffy brush and just take whatever shade you want to use. I'm going to use this shade in the corner, and I'm also going to mix a little bit of that shimmer color. Tap off the excess, and then you're just going to apply the bronzer pretty much everywhere that you would technically contour. So I like to put it on my cheeks. So you guys can see it adds a nice little flush of brown color. And then I'm also just going to take it and frame my forehead. And I'm also going to put it underneath of my jawline and to frame my chin. Next up, let's do a little bit of eyeshadow. If you already know me, you know that I'm not really an eyeshadow girl, but I wanted to give you guys a really quick and easy eyeshadow look that's beginner friendly. So I have this eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild, and the thing I like about this palette is that it is definitely beginner friendly, not only because of the size and the variety of colors, but on the back of it, it also gives you 2 options of eye looks that you can do, and it shows you step by step which shades to use and where to apply them on your eyelid. So on this side, this would be the daytime look, and then this side would be the nighttime look. I'm gonna do something similar to the daytime look, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. And then even on the actual palette, it tells you at the top, this would be your transition color, and then this would be your dark transition color, and then the colors in the middle are for you to play around with. So the first shade I'm going to take is this lighter transition color. I'm just gonna take a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and when I say fluffy, I just mean a brush that has fluffy bristles. I'm gonna get a little closer so y'all can see me. I'm literally just gonna take this shade and apply it to my crease. And I just like to go in circular motions so that that color really blends out into the crease. So next, I'm just going to take this like pinkish color, and I'm going to use that to deepen the crease a little bit. So I'm literally gonna put it almost in the same spot that I put my transition color, but a little bit further in and a little bit lower. One thing you can do if you make the color a little bit too harsh is just take that transition color from before, put it on the fluffy brush that we applied on earlier. You can just blend it outwards so that it doesn't look as harsh. Last but not least, I'm just gonna take this like light golden shade and I'm gonna plop this on my lid. So literally with just those 3 shades, I got this super easy eyeshadow look. Like, looks like it took way more effort than it did. Now, I'm not even gonna sit here and try to put on eyeliner because I suck at putting on eyeliner. However, I am going to put on some eyeliner on my waterline. This is the Palladio. I know I said that wrong. Palladio I think it's Palladio. I don't know. I'm gonna use this black eyeliner. It looks like this, got it off Eyebrow. I like using liners like this because they're a lot easier to apply. For my blush, I'm going to use this blush palette, also from E.L.F. E.L.F. has some of the best multi-use palettes ever. This is what the palette looks like, and I'm going to use the shade. It's like a really pretty peachy neutral shade. By the way, I don't have a specific order in the way that I do my makeup. Like, I am so random with it. Sometimes I'll be like doing my blush or doing my highlighter and forget that I forgot to put on mascara, or I forgot to put on eyeliner or something, and I just go back and do it. Oh, this blush color is so pretty. Speaking of forgetting steps, I forgot to put on a highlighter. I have this highlighter from E.L.F. as well. It's their jelly highlighter. I had one of these before and I lost it, so I'm glad I was able to get one of these off Eyebrow. What's really unique about this highlighter is that it's like a jelly. I don't want to pour it out and it spill. And it's so easy to apply. You literally just put it on your finger and then you put it on your highlight areas. And I put way too much, but that's normal for me with highlight. And then you can just press it into the skin. I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Another E.L.F. product I got here is their lashes. When it comes to false lashes, I love winged lashes, and these are for volumizing, and they also have a winged effect. I'm going to use this duo eyelash glue. Eyelash glue. What is going on? I'm going to use this duo eyelash glue. This is the black one, or the dark tone one. I like the dark tone one because it's just easier to apply. Y'all, I literally suck at putting on eyelashes, so if y'all have any tips, let me know, because I'm so bad at it. I literally just plop it on and hope that it falls in place. Now, if you aren't really a false lashes type of girl, I highly recommend the Falsies mascara by Maybelline. The packaging is like low-key so pretty. This mascara makes my real lashes look false. I'm just gonna apply it really quick so that my lashes blend with the false lashes. Okay, so lastly for my lip, this might sound crazy, but I'm actually going to use the eyebrow pencil that I used earlier to line my lips. Sometimes I just can't find a brown liner that works well on my lips, but this is brown and it works. So you can use makeup in different ways. Then I'm just gonna take this Revlon Supernatural lip gloss. It's in the shade 215. If you're like light skin, this color might show a little bit more pink on you, but for me it's more like a nude, especially when it blends in with the eyebrow color. I love a brown liner with lip gloss. Like, that's one of my all-time favorite combinations. I'm gonna give y'all a little close-up. This looks professional, I'm not gonna lie. And also, guys, you don't have to do every single one of these steps. There are days where I don't wear eyeshadow. There are days where I don't wear lashes. There's days where I don't put on eyeliner. You can really play around and see what products or what parts of your face routine that you want to do depending on where you're going or what you want to look like. For me, this is like a full face. Even though I used a BB cream, like, this is like a full face pretty much. One last step I forgot is to set my makeup. I'm going to use the E.L.F. makeup mist. It's like this. And this is for all skin types. It smells so good. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you have used any of these products or what your favorite affordable products are. Check out my description box below for a list of all the products that I used and the link to Eyebrow to check out their catalog. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.